Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Big Air 01 coming at you with another video on my 2016 Yamaha WR250R. I've owned this bike since 2017 and it's never had a new battery put in it. It's now 2024 and this at the end of this winter we had a little bit of a dead battery slash draining, and now it's not really holding much of a charge. It's enough to start it, but I don't want to leave it me stranded. So in this video, we are going to install a brand new NOCO NLP5 Lithium battery from NOCO, and we're also going to install a tender so that I can charge the battery when it's sitting here for long periods of time, and I never worry about it going dead. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. We're over here on the bench, and we're going to do a little unboxing. But before we start, the tools you'll need, it's always good to have a voltmeter. You have your Phillips for undoing the nuts and screws on the battery, and you'll need an 8mm wrench or some sort of 8mm socket to remove the side panels. So let's start by looking at the unboxing the maintainer. So basically, it's I bought the NOCO Genius 2, and the reason why I went with the Genius 2 was that it charges lithium batteries. So you got to make sure that when you buy the battery chargers, that you buy the ones that charge the batteries appropriately. And then in the box, we just have the maintainer, which is pretty heavy duty. I thought about mounting it in the bike, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to mount the tabs, which I'll show you here in a sec. It does come with a little place you could mount it onto the wall, and or maybe inside your vehicle if you left it in your vehicle. And it came with some instructions. So as you can see, it's got one for 12 volt, 12-volt AGM, and lithium, and also for a 6-volt. So it's got a little quick connect. Well, that's kind of nice that you can cover it. And then it comes with the cables. So for our setup, because we're leaving it on the bike, we're going to take apart these little connectors, and then we'll just save these clamps for another day. But I want to leave this hole with the fuse. It even comes with a fuse. Just take a boo at the fuse here, if you can even get it open. It's a bit of a struggle to get it open. It's got a little 4-amp fuse in there to help protect the maintainer. So it also looks like you will need a 3mm Allen key to undo this little lead from the actual clamps. Okay, so we're just going to separate that. We don't need that. We don't need this piece. You can hang on to it, but we're just going to hook it up on the bike itself, so we don't need it. We're going to do the negative as well. Okay, negative's off. It's always a good idea to put those screws back into the clamp so you don't lose them. Alright, so now that we've got this, this will be connected to the bike, positive, negative, and then we'll hang this somewhere that's easily accessible to get the power maintainer to it when we want to leave it for long periods of time charged. So this is the NOCO Lithium NLP 2 amp hour, 26 watt hour battery. So there's a couple of reasons why I went with this battery. One, it's a little bit lighter than the stock battery. It's the proper size for the battery. It is a little bit more money. It's about double the money than basically a standard lead acid battery. It does come with a BMI, so the brain module, basically, that's in the top, and which will help with not overcharging and maintaining the battery itself. So it does come with a little platform, so you can just put it on the bottom if you want, or you can take off the one. It actually comes with two, so it's got two there. You got one you can see here, and then here. This is actually pretty light, and then it's got the option of being able to screw onto the top and also the sides, which is going to be nice for hooking up our leads to the for the maintainer, because you won't have everything all on the same. And it's even got like ones on the side, so it's got multiple directions that you could hook this thing up to, and it looks like you could probably just hook up right directly to that if you wanted to. So yeah, so let's it seems pretty well built, which is kind of nice. I didn't want to go with the anti-gravity one for the extra $100 for the push start. It just didn't seem like it would, you know, like you're probably saving quite a bit of weight already as it is with this. So, you know, to go and spend an extra $100, this battery was about $130 on Amazon Canadian. And so, you know, after it's all said and done, you know, the anti-gravity was like $220 plus tax and stuff. So I didn't really want to go and spend $200 on a battery when I was gonna get a charger anyhow for it. So it just didn't make sense. So these batteries are supposed to last 2 times more power, 10 times more starts, so meaning it'll have a longer life, and 5 times the longer life. So I got 8 years out of the stock battery, and that's, you know, I've got 16,000, just about 16,000 kilometers on the bike. So it's certainly done its job. It is getting a little weaker, hence the reason why we are replacing it. So this battery, it says it comes fully charged. We'll check that here in a second. It is waterproof, and it weighs 1.5 pounds. And apparently with the Genius 2 that I have here, so if it was dead, it's only supposed to take 1 hour to charge with the Genius 2. I always got to remember the positive side and the negative side. So it came fully charged. It's showing 16.616 volts. Pretty good. Like it. That way we don't have to sit here and charge it before we put it in the bike. So that was one of the things that it said, that it does come fully charged, and it was charged. So that's a good thing. Okay, let's put it in the bike. Okay, super easy. You don't need to take off the seat unless you truly want to, but basically you have your 8mm bolt right here. You just undo it, and then you pull out here from the battery, or from the gas tank, and you're just going to pull down. Kind of give it a little bit of a pull out. So you have your strap holding it in there, which is easier to unhook from the bottom. Just put that somewhere out of the way. We'll expose the leads. This is where you're going to need your Phillips screwdriver. So I always like to unhook the negative first, so that any kind of arcing or sparking goes through the frame. Positive side. Just like that. This battery probably weighs about 5 pounds. Holy cow. As you can see, it's the same size battery. So you're gonna need a 4mm Allen key to take your nuts or your screws off the top. Now I've already run into my first hiccup here. And that is that these are two small holes for your terminals. So you're going to have to get a drill and drill them out. Okay guys, I recommend some pliers when you hang on to this because it will twist in your hand, and you just basically hold on to it like that and drill into it. And I've already drilled through it, but even with this one, they like to twist in your hand when you're drilling through them. It's actually in there really snug too. Now we're going to do the negative side. Basically want it to hang right there. Get your battery strap. Okay guys, so it's all in there, and I've put the covers back over to help protect the terminals, and then you also have your little connector here that I've zap strapped a few of them in place so they don't move, and then I'm just going to leave that like that, and maybe even put another zap strap like that so it doesn't hang on anything, so it'll sit just like that. And whenever I need to use it, I'll just pull it out and plug it in. I'll show you when I put the panel back on here. So I don't need to, I'm pretty sure it'll start no problem. So we'll just put it back together. So to put it back together, kind of just slide it underneath the seat, tiny bit there, and then just push it all the way in, and then you gotta push, well, you gotta push this top part in and redo your bolt down here on the bottom, your 8mm. Okay, so when I want to charge it, I'm just gonna make sure that this stays plugged in, and just plug it in. And you're gonna go over to your charger, and show you here. To turn it on, you just go through the modes, you just click it, so it's on the 12 volt. So it's showing that it's connected. It's going to go through its checks to make sure that it's charged or not. There we go. Shows it's green. And we should be fully charged pretty much, so I'll be able to mount this on the wall now somewhere and just have it close to wherever I park my bike, and that'll keep my battery charged and make it last a hell of a lot longer than just the 8 years or 6 years, depending on how abusive you are on your batteries. So let's see if she starts up. Unhook it, you're just going to push down on this little tab and pull it out. And then you can put the cover back on, this one, and tuck it away. And it shouldn't get too dirty there. So guys, it's really important that you start your bike up
you make sure that it obviously has enough power to start. I would say that it definitely cranked over my bike a lot faster than it was before. So it certainly seems to have the proper amount of voltage to be able to start and amperage to start the bike. That NLP5 fit right in there perfectly. I didn't have to do anything to it. It's a great fit for the bike. But it's really important that when you start it up that you make sure that everything works. Anything electronic potentially has that chance of blowing a fuse if you potentially shorted something out while you were hooking it out. So, you know, for safety reasons, obviously you want to make sure that you take the time to make sure everything works. So I made sure my signals worked, my brake light worked, my horn worked, my headlight high and low beam worked, and the kill switch worked. I mean, you will obviously have to reset your clock on your dash, but I'm going to do a video on that because it is kind of a pain in the butt to do that. And it's easy once you know how, but it is kind of a pain to reset your clock, because it will have reset because you disconnected your battery. Overall though, I'm quite happy with the NLP5, and obviously for the price it's $100 cheaper than the anti-gravity lithium battery. And not that I don't think that that's a bad brand, I just think that for the weight that you're probably saving, it's gonna be very minimal, but there is a big difference between the lithium and also the stock battery, which is you know, quite a bit heavier. And so you are saving a bit of weight there. Not that it really matters, but it is up high, so you know, that's good to save some weight there. And with the anti-gravity, I didn't want that button that you could basically have an extra restart if your battery went dead. You know, one of the reasons why I put on this battery tender was so that I could keep my battery fully charged. And you will extend the battery of your life if you put any sort of tender on your battery, and it's super easy to hook up to your bike. I mean, there's lots of different brands out there. I ended up going with the NOCO one. The only thing you got to make sure is that you use some sort of charger or tender that is lithium capable, because if you used another one, it wouldn't work properly and potentially damage your batteries. So that's why I went with the NOCO 2, and I like how clean it is. You don't even notice really that there is a battery tender sitting there, and it's going to be super easy to throw that in a backpack or whatever, or if you're on a long trip, and you know, basically bring it with you as a backup to be able to keep your bike fully charged. So that's going to do it for this, guys. I really appreciate your guys' support. So if you guys like the video, definitely drop a like on the video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for many more videos, hopefully still to come on this WR250R. I know it's been a long time since I've done a video on it, but I do have a few more things that I do want to do to it, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.